Steve Harvey was publicly humiliated in front of Clint Eastwood, and Clint's next move left the entire room speechless. Stop everything. Like, share, and subscribe right now because what Clint did will shock you beyond belief. The grand charity gala was supposed to be a night of celebration, but it quickly turned into a nightmare for Steve Harvey. As he took the stage to deliver a heartfelt speech, a group of powerful critics in the audience began whispering and laughing, their mocking voices growing louder until they openly ridiculed Steve's every word. The crowd around them tensed, whispers turned into uncomfortable silence as Steve's confidence started to crumble under their relentless jeers. Clint Eastwood sat quietly nearby, his eyes narrowing as he witnessed the unfair attack. Then, without warning, Clint rose slowly from his seat, his calm but intense gaze locking onto the mockers. The atmosphere shifted instantly. His presence was like a wall of steel pushing back the sneers and laughter. The room fell utterly silent, every eye fixed on Clint. Steve felt a spark of courage ignite inside him, fueled by Clint's silent but powerful support. But the shock was far from over. Clint stepped forward and dropped a bombshell. He revealed a secret about those mocking Steve, exposing their lies and hypocrisy in front of everyone. The crowd gasped, the critics froze, and the balance of power tipped dramatically. What was this secret? How did Clint's bold move change everything? Drop your thoughts below and stay tuned, because the next part will blow your mind even further. As Clint's revelation echoed through the room, tension thickened like a storm ready to break. The secret he exposed? Those critics had been caught manipulating the charity's funds for years, stealing donations meant to help the needy. Their smug faces turned pale, and whispers of panic rippled among them. Steve, now standing taller, stared at Clint with gratitude and renewed strength. But the worst was yet to come. One of the lead critics, desperate to save face, lunged toward Clint with a sneer, trying to intimidate him. Clint didn't flinch. Instead, he calmly called security, knowing this was bigger than a simple confrontation. Suddenly, the gala turned into a battleground of truth versus corruption, with Steve and Clint at the heart of it. But here's the twist: an unexpected ally in the crowd, a whistleblower no one suspected, stepped forward with more evidence, turning the tide completely. Who was this mysterious person? And how far would they go to bring justice? Comment below what you think will happen next, because the story is only getting wilder. The room buzzed with tension as the whistleblower stepped forward, a woman cloaked in mystery yet radiating undeniable courage. She revealed detailed documents and recordings proving the critics' deep involvement in the charity's corruption, proof so damning it would bring down even the most untouchable figures. Clint's eyes narrowed, his calm exterior masking the storm inside. He knew this was no longer just about Steve Harvey's humiliation, this was a full-scale battle against greed and betrayal. Steve, feeling the weight of the moment, found his voice again, delivering a powerful speech that struck a chord with everyone present. "We can't let this darkness win," he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "It's time for truth and justice." The crowd, once divided, began to rally behind them, chanting for change. But just as hope seemed to rise, an eerie silence fell. The lead critic, now exposed and cornered, unleashed a shocking threat that sent chills down everyone's spine, threatening to ruin lives, careers, and families if the truth went public. Clint's gaze hardened. "We're not afraid," he said quietly, stepping forward to protect the innocent and stand up to the powerful. The stage was set for a showdown that no one saw coming. Who would back down? Who would rise? And what sacrifices would be made to expose the full truth? Tell me in the comments, what would you do if faced with this battle? Stay tuned because the next chapter reveals the explosive climax that will change everything. The atmosphere grew electric as Clint Eastwood, Steve Harvey, and the brave whistleblower prepared for the ultimate confrontation. News cameras flooded the gala, broadcasting live as the truth threatened to unravel the powerful elite's carefully guarded secrets. Clint's steady voice cut through the chaos, "This ends now." Steve stood beside him, no longer the man humiliated earlier, but a fighter ready to reclaim his honor and expose corruption. The critics scrambled, but with every piece of evidence unveiled, their power crumbled like a house of cards. Unexpected allies emerged from the shadows, whistleblowers, journalists, and everyday people who had suffered in silence, joining the fight for justice. The lead critics' desperate attempts to intimidate only made their downfall faster and more certain. In a final twist, it was revealed that one of the critics had secretly recorded the entire confrontation, accidentally exposing themselves even further. As the gala ended, Clint looked at Steve and whispered, "The real fight is just beginning." The crowd erupted in applause, inspired by the courage and truth that had finally broken through. What would you do if you witnessed such bravery? Could you stand up when the odds were against you? Share your thoughts below, and remember, sometimes the strongest voices come from standing up for what's right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that challenge the status quo and inspire change. After the gala's explosive fallout, Steve Harvey found himself under intense media scrutiny, not for the humiliation, but for his fearless stand alongside Clint Eastwood. Headlines called it, "The Night Truth Defeated Power." Yet behind the scenes, the danger was far from over. The corrupt elite weren't just going to disappear quietly. They started launching covert attacks to silence Steve and Clint. Anonymous threats flooded in, mysterious break-ins rattled their homes, and trusted allies suddenly vanished. Clint, ever the calm warrior, warned Steve, "This fight will cost us more than we expect." But Steve's resolve only hardened. "If we back down now, everything we fought for dies." Then came the most shocking twist yet. A close friend turned out to be working for the opposition, feeding secrets and plans to the enemy. Betrayal cut deep, but it also forced Steve and Clint to rethink their strategy. Would they expose the traitor publicly or use the secret to turn the tables? The city watched, breath held, waiting for their next move. What would you do if your own team betrayed you? Comment below, your opinion could decide the next chapter. The betrayal hit hard, but Steve and Clint didn't falter. Instead, they used the traitor's own secrets to dismantle the corrupt network from within. Slowly, one by one, the powerful enemies fell, exposed by their own lies and greed. The city, once drowning in fear and silence, began to awaken with hope and courage. Steve, once mocked and humiliated, became a symbol of resilience, while Clint's unwavering strength inspired countless others to stand up against injustice. In the end, their fight wasn't just about winning, it was about lighting a fire that would never be extinguished. As peace settled, Clint looked at Steve and said quietly, "The real victory is the change we leave behind." The story closed not on an ending, but on a new beginning, one where truth and courage always find a way to rise. What would you stand up for if the whole world was against you? Share your thoughts below, and thank you for being part of this unforgettable journey.